So we're just weighing up space for an oil cup. This is at the extreme stroke. That's the spot I was looking at putting the oil cup in, and it's tight. Unless I bring it forward, which might be an idea, in which case I can stick it here, because this face goes right up next to that gear there. There's very little clearance. I've not got the slider block in yet, but you know, it's not enough to make any difference. So where I was going to stick it on the outside, I've got to try and now come up with a cunning plan. So I'll drill through there, seal this end off, and then drill through there to give me a connection for the oil way, and then obviously fit the cup on this face. Glad I checked, because I was just setting up the drill and thought, I better check. The slider block, we've machined off all the bronze build up, and he's going to have another go. If we can't get that right, then I've got to go to plan B. It's not proved very successful. So we've drilled an oil line through, drilling through from this side, and then we've tapped this end. You can't quite, you just see it there, tapped it M8, so that'll have a either a simple grub screw, or I can make up some kind of needle valve type of thing just to restrict the flow. And that's tapped 8th BSP, same that side. So the only other thing I've got to do now, turn it over, is I've got to put in some oil grooves, I think they're called oil grooves, and then put some frosting over this face and the other face, and then that'll be the yoke finished. The power's dropped off the slider again. After we machined it all off, and then he's raised it back up again. Anyway, we're going to give it a go. If it doesn't show any improvement over the previous one, I think I'm into making a new one. But I'm out of time today. Puppy needs a walk, and I've got some work to get on with. Yeah, something to pay the bills. I'll just rub the stone over the milled surfaces, and you can see a repeat pattern. Just took the high spots off. I can't, with my finger, I can't feel any lumps or bumps. So I was setting up to, or I'm setting up to mill some oil tracks somehow, cut those. I need to do both faces and then flake it. So that's my scraper. It's 8 inches long, and I can't get in to do the half moon flaking. So I need to come up with a different scraper. So while I was at it, I thought I'd have a look at the oil ways milled into the slide of the ram, and basically that's your oil point. Picks up down here, and there's a mirror of this on the underside of this dovetail, and then nothing all the way along to the other end. Now I guess the end's where you're going to get the most wear, but I would have also thought that the wear on the front end, which is that end, would be lift, and then the rear end would be a drag, you know, downwards. Anyway, I'm not started even looking at measuring those up, but I was expecting to see some sort of snaky oil line all the way along. So we shall see what we find out when we do put a straight edge over it. Doesn't solve me the problem of how the hell I'm going to put it in here. Yeah, bit of a headache. So we needed to make a scraper with a 20-inch long handle. Found a piece of stainless 1/2-inch bar. No idea what it was bought for or obtained for. And I've threaded the end M10, found a defunct brazed carbide turning tool, and I've just started to shape the end of it. It was a, come on, pick it up. Nope, nope, hang on. It was straight ended, and I've just started to slowly put the radius on, and then as you can see, just seeing what works. I might have to put some kind of attachment onto the bottom of the handle here, because as you hold it up at its angle, you start it off on one corner and you bump it whilst trying to hold it against that corner. You bump it against the opposite side, so as it moves it does that basically, and it forms like a half moon, so they tell me. Yeah, I'm going for the wiggly worm effect, but anyway, we'll see. Could do with a bit of shaped surface or a bit of cast iron, and get some practice before I start hacking away at the bearing surfaces. That's what it's supposed to be doing. You should be able to get a big long line of those. Bit of work needed. At least a bit of carbide that works now. Right, so that's the point at which the oil cup's got to fit in. That's my side mounting oil cup, which, you know, would screw in, apart from the fact it won't rotate. Fairly sure I got the dimensions right. Anyway, long and the short of it, I've got to make a plug that will fit in that male, come up, open out, and have a BSP female I can screw that into, so then that'll get over that problem. Would have been nice if that thing would have just rotated. It's a 3/4 inch diameter plug, pot. Maybe 1/2 inch would have been better, I don't know. Anyway, so back on the lathe. I've got a length of I don't even know what that is. It's brass, but it's for hex anyway. It's just about big enough, so we'll cut some length off that and make up some pieces. So just making up these extensions. First job, face it off, then drill a 4.5mm hole through. Turn it down to something like 9.7mm, then run a die nut down it, then part it off. Turn it round, stick it in 3-jaw chuck, drilling that 8.75 I think it is, hole, and stick a tap down it, and then just chamfer the corners and try not to roll the internal thread edge. Haha. So that's them fitted. It's a slight issue tapping the brass fittings. Started it off in the lathe, took them out, clamped them in the vise, started tapping it, and the dog went berserk. Obviously the frequency that noise was generated from the tapping the brass was getting in the dog's wisdom teeth. She thought I was committing murder of some form. Anyway, so she's now outside, looking at having a go at me chickens if she can get hold of them. Next job's sorting that out, so I'm going to do that tomorrow, see how we get on. Well, it ain't pretty, but a bit of flaking, and I've hand scraped the oil ways. That one went a bit far because I hit this bit of crap in the casting, and I hand scraped them with a boring bar and a file. Very tedious, not very easy, but functional. Out, that's the size of it. It's 73.16mm wide at the top, and it's plus 0.07mm wider at the bottom. For those of you that like the old money, 4 groats and 2 camels, or 4 thou if you like. Well, I've machined the block. I didn't video it because you've seen it all before. It's in. There's a very small amount of movement, but because this top edge is a 3 thou narrower than the back edge, and I don't know whether that's just the casting is recovering after the machining, I don't know. Anyway, I'm reluctant to make it too tight a fit because I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, it's in. It's around about 5 thou clearance. Seems more than that, but anyway. What I've discovered is that it's supposed to drop in that position. So obviously you can't get that block in through this gap. I don't think it goes in at the top. No. This being the side that's up against the ball gear, so I've got to drop the yoke in, and then that's a really snug fit. In fact, it's there's a bit of distortion on it, so it won't currently fit. The surface of the block after the last attempt to weld it, braze it back up, is much better than it was. I'm not going to piss about with it now. I'm inclined to say I'll put the oil grooves in and the oil ways, and then call it done. What I had found was there was a bit of distortion across corner to corner, almost as if it warped, so I've had to clean it up again. And I took about, I think it was 4 thou out, so I've got to put that oil groove back in. But that's that bit done. Near as damn it. I'll finish it off tomorrow morning, and I'll upload this video tonight so that you can at least see that I'm not sat on my arse doing nothing. Puppy, on the other hand, is sat on her arse waiting for me to come inside to take her out for a walk, which will be another one today. Right, job's a good one.